This is our first annual State of Low Code, No Code survey. And so I imagine our future participation will only grow, but 1,000 leaders is an amazing way to start and give us some fantastic data.
And here we'd like to thank our partner community who actually helped us to run this survey across 90 countries. Among those 1,000 organizations that responded to the survey, we have Creatio customers, we have Creatio partners, but the vast majority of the respondents are people who actually never used Creatio, and then so that was really insightful for all of us. We hear about lack of alignment between business and IT. We hear about apps proliferation. We hear about lack of budget. And that was insightful to see actually in the survey that 43% of respondents believe that the core barrier of digital transformation is lack of skilled resources. This is number one obstacle that doesn't allow digital transformation move on and develop the organization.
Well, Catherine, on the next one, I found it fascinating that when analyzed for digital transformation, there was a famous meme that came out that indicated that the number one driver inside of any business wasn't any particular executive, it was the pandemic itself. I think these results speak directly to that, in that only 5% of participants actually paused their initiatives, whereas 95% either continued initiatives, continued planning and then going from the planning stage, and even 13% actually enhanced and accelerated. So while so many other aspects of business kind of went on a full delay or pause, this was the area that received the focus. It was just amazing.
Right, and as you know, my favorite quote from Darwin, if you go to the next slide, is if you don't adapt, like you need to adapt if you want to thrive and you want to survive even, right? That's why we can see the results of the investments into the innovations, Andy.
Absolutely, innovate or die.
Okay, out of 3 citizen developers, 2 people are IT related as of today. System admins, business analysts, software integrators, while only 1 person citizen developer is a business user. What this data tells us today, it means that when we need to build enterprise apps, and definitely we're talking about complex applications to automate complex business processes in the organizations today, still low-code, no-code platforms require some IT knowledge, some IT skills to deliver the applications, because there are so many requirements, as we all know. If we compare an enterprise app and a simple app for the single business unit, we all understand that there are lots of additional requirements, like access rights, like interconnection between different business units, like connection with the in-house software built many years ago, integration with those software. So there are many enterprise requirements that currently need some IT skills to deliver on those requirements. And we see it as our goal to enhance the no-code tools in the low-code, no-code platforms to enable citizen developers from the business side, not from the IT side only, build their own applications on the platform. Let's look at some numbers. The demand for business applications today is 500 million applications in the world. At the same time, Andy, you remember the numbers, how many IT experts, any type of IT experts exist today, actually. It's 100 million IT experts. Out of this number, what are the number of software developers? Andy, do you remember?
I know it wasn't nearly enough.
Yeah, it's definitely not enough. It's 25%. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we have only 25 million software developers in the world to build 500 million business apps. And there is no way that this number of business apps will be delivered with this number of software developers. So we see low code, no code is actually the only solution here. And currently, we see that 60% of potential users of low code, no code technology, they don't have skills and expertise. And we definitely see it as our job to evangelize and to educate on the low code, no code technology. And at the same time, look at this slide, 6% of low code development is done by business users without any IT involvement. So we need to deliver more no code tools for the business users to be able to automate their business processes without IT involvement. Because again, you remember this first slide, lack of skilled resources, that's the core obstacle, that's the core barrier. And actually low code, no code technology has been created exactly to solve this challenge within the organizations, lack of skilled IT resources, and give these tools to the business users to be able to automate their business processes independently from the IT experts.
Catherine, I think you've hit on a key topic, because I'm seeing in the chat there's a lot of comments on this. So one of the questions that came up was, do you believe, will no code completely replace low code in the next years? You've used both expressions. I think the audience would love to understand your position on that.
Oh, that's actually my favorite topic, as you know, Andy, because what we see today is that low-code platforms are adding more and more no-code tools, and at the same time, no-code vendors are adding low-code capabilities to give access to code if needed. So actually, the prediction from our side is going to be merge of these two technologies, low-code, no-code, into one. And we believe that the future name of that is going to be no code.
Excellent. Well, one final question on this slide in particular. It said that 6% is pretty low. Do we anticipate this number to grow anytime soon?
Absolutely, absolutely. So and again, that's what Creatio community is very much focused on, to give the tools to the business users to build their enterprise apps on the platform without IT engagement. So my prediction is that within 5 years, we're definitely going to go much higher than 50% of the software development is going to be done by the business users without IT engagement. Again, why? Just thanks to those no-code tools that have been built within the platform.
And I think as well, when we talked about expertise being the biggest blocker, it only takes getting experience once to remove that blocker and then start the snowball effect of business being much more engaged. Wonderful.
Absolutely. Yep.
Let's proceed here. So the top benefits of using low code, I think we often see literature talking about accelerated time to market and therefore reduced cost in the development. I thought this was a fascinating number, though, that only 5% of folks, which I guess because you're forced to have a bell curve to some degree, is representing groups that most likely are struggling with a number of technologies. But the vast majority, 95%, agree with this statement. And moreover, the majority, over 50%, saw almost a 50% or greater increase in their speed to market, with the long tail of this piece seeing greater than 100%, which I think is just, if this is the early days of this transformation, I can only imagine how this will only accelerate further, particularly with what you mentioned about low code and no code merging together.
100%. Isn't it amazing? Actually, these results are pretty fascinating. And the results our customers can see today, they are already very inspiring. I can tell you that we even have, Andy, one of the customers who defined as the KPI for their executives the number of business processes automated with the help of the low-code, no-code platform. So the goal is to automate as many processes in the organization as possible using those technologies.
Amazing. All right. So this one was super interesting to me, because I thought for sure this would be slanted one way or another, but it turns out that folks that are embracing this technology or considering it are looking equally for customer-facing activities as they are how they can streamline their middle and back office processes, while they universally felt that we were at the earliest days. So the potential that's perceived here is enormous, but the direction of it is equally split, internally and externally facing.
Exactly. You can't imagine, like, I've never, actually, I've never known that there are, that this type of processes even exist. There are so many unique business processes for different industries, for different use cases. And there is no way that all these processes will be automated with out of the box software, out of the box application. The only way is actually either custom development from scratch or low code, no code platforms. That is why here at Creatio, we're super bullish, if you will, about the future of the low code, no code technology. This one is my favorite, and I can share with you, like, if I'm allowed, my personal expectations from this question. We had kind of a gambling inside the marketing team, and discussing what's going to be the final numbers here, and the numbers we eventually got are higher than the initial expectations. So ladies and gentlemen, have a look. 10% of the 1,000 survey participants believe that 10% of their business processes in the organizations have been fully automated, while 60% of business processes are partially automated and only 30% haven't been automated at all. So from one side, it's definitely a long way to go. And we do understand that the digital transformation trends and low code, no code platforms are just emerging and developing, and still it's going to be a long run from today. But from the other side, the results are pretty amazing already. So I believe having 10% of business processes fully automated, that's already a very good result. Andy, what do you think?
Oh, I agree with that, but I think that with how fast the pace of change is now, the pandemic is a great example of that, of course, that even if you're fully automated today, you're going to have to modify that at some point going forward and have the mechanisms to do it. I think it's an amazing embracing of it that 10% have already done it. We have a few interesting questions that have come up that I can interject here. What are the best fit specialists to turn into citizen developers? And should citizen app development be one of their primary tasks?
You know what? I love the analogy we use very often inside the Creatio community, is that low code, no code is actually like Lego building blocks. And to build your own construction out of Lego building blocks, you don't need to be an expert. You don't need to have a degree. You even don't need to attend some courses or have a special training, right? You can just do it. And the whole vision of Creatio is to deliver a platform that allows you build your own apps without having any unique expertise. Well, if the question is, what are the requirements today, and can enterprise complex apps be built without any special expertise? The answer is probably today you still need to have some IT background as a business analyst, for example, but in the future, that's definitely the way to go. What do you think, Andy, about this one?
Yeah, I agree that this is it's not a specialized task. That the most important thing I tend to find is that you have an understanding of the business itself, of the challenge or thing that you're looking to solve or automate, right? It is the core. In fact, when we look at the top trends, I think that number one came down to operational efficiency. Well, I see that as the way to get there. It has to do with understanding the operations of your particular line of business, your interaction with the clients, the friction points in the business, rather than in traditional IT development, translating business requirements to another set of skills that's going to execute and having that iteration. This is essentially eliminating that friction. I think
And
yeah.
you work with customers every day. You have multiple different calls with different industries, different organizations, literally every day.
Yes.
What are your expectations when the low code technology is going to reach its potential? I can see that this is one of the questions in a chat, but I honestly love the question. What do you think about it?
Well, I think, as I mentioned earlier, I see that we're at a tipping point for a cascade of this, right? Because with with people embracing more technology in their daily lives and becoming much more comfortable with interacting with it, bringing that extension into the business to say when we go back to work, my drive into work, I have this brilliant idea. When I get to the meeting room and I get my team together and I draw it on a whiteboard, my expectation starts to become, well, why can't we empower this, right? I can do this in my daily life with all the things at home. Why should my technology at work be limiting rather than enabling? And so I see that we're at a critical juncture of people's expectations, their comfort with it, and their need and desire for that speed. So I think that we're going to see an ownership of taken on, and that will only accelerate reaching its potential sooner. So I don't think we're light years away. I think we're in the earliest days of it right now.
Right.
I don't know if you agree with that, though.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. I'm with you. It's very far from reaching the full potential of the low-code, no-code technology. That's for sure. And I'm sure that after the sneak peeks, everyone would love to download the report. Let's go to the next slide and just share this QR code for everyone to download it. And again, those were just a few facts that Andy and I decided to share with you during this session, and a lot more to come within the report.
Yes, it's very robust. We please encourage you to download it, reference it, use it for your internal projects. And as we said, this is an annual event, so we'll see the updates going forward. Catherine, there is an interesting question: is what do you see as the difference? I think you might be touching on this soon, but between low code and no code, as the difference between the two.
Sure, the users are different, and again, as the market is only emerging, and low code, no code is definitely far from being an established market. There are different definitions of the low code, no code, but here at Creatio, we believe the core difference between low code and no code is who are the users of this technology, because in the case of the low code, the users would be IT experts, while in a case of no code, the users would be any knowledge workers, actually. And again, we all know that there are 1.7 billion knowledge workers in the world. So all these people can use low code, no code technology to build their own applications.
Wonderful.
Okay?
Well, let's jump ahead then and speak a moment about that, about our vision as pertains to. So we're shifting from the report about all the background information.
And one last question I can see, if you don't mind, in the chat, can I participate next year in this survey? How to enter this survey? Andy, would you like to address this one? That's a great question, just to wrap up the survey part.
Well, I will say that we can collect the contact information of all of the participants that have joined us and registered today, and certainly include them in the survey next year. And I'm sure we'll be publishing links to this on our website, as well as releasing it to the industry. So we'll be happy to have as many participants as we can possibly have on a global basis across all industries. I mean, that'll make this more robust.
Right. And I just have to address this one. I can see another question. Will low code kill developers' jobs? Oh my gosh, it is such a huge shortage of software developers. Software developers, as we all know, are like gold today, and the prediction is that this situation will be actual for 10 years at least, and I honestly believe that much more than 10 years. So software development is the best job today. And when I'm asked by high school kids what I believe is the best job today, and which school, which college they should attend, my answer is always software development. I do believe that this is the best job, because it's so much work in this digital world where we're rapidly moving, and thanks to COVID, we're moving more rapidly than any time prior to COVID. So it's obvious that software engineers is going to be the most popular job and the most demanded job in high demand within the coming 10 years.
Absolutely. I think that earlier stat you gave proves it, right? I mean, the demand outstrips supply so far at this day and age.
Right. Okay, let's talk about Creatio vision and what we're building here at Creatio, and that would be probably a nice transition to the presentation of our new big update of the Creatio package. So again, we touched this topic a little bit. Once again, just to summarize, we see that low-code platforms, low-code capabilities are built for the IT users. That's kind of rapid software development category, while no-code is definitely targeting business users. The challenge that Andy and I just discussed for 20 minutes is that when we build simple apps, it's the current no-code tools that are available on the market are more than enough to build simple applications to automate a simple use case for a business unit. The challenge comes today when we need to automate complex enterprise business applications that take into account use cases of multiple business units that need to be interconnected, and also integrations with all different in-house applications available right now. So these are the challenge, and we do believe that with time the low-code, no-code tools will merge into one, because to overcome this challenge, what is happening with the no-code platforms? They are adding more and more low-code capabilities, and they are actually given access to code. While what is happening with low-code platforms, they are adding more and more no-code capabilities to give ability to the business users, to all those knowledge workers, build their own application using the platform. Here at Creatio, the strong belief is that in 5 years, any business application, any SaaS application is going to be built on top of the low-code, no-code platform. Not only those platforms going to merge into one, I mean low-code platforms and no-code platforms, they're going to merge into one, but also here at Creatio, we're building the capabilities of composable apps. When you take different apps, different features, different components, and you combine them the way your unique organization requires. So being able to create your own application from ready-to-use building blocks like Lego blocks, that's the future of the enterprise software. And at the same time, being a no-code developer and being able to do all that without deep IT expertise. And that's exactly what R&D team of Creatio is working on and focused on, just to create the world where everyone can automate business ideas in minutes. This is the vision of Creatio. That's how we see the future of low-code, no-code platforms. And we are very proud and very excited to be recognized for the technology that Creatio has built by multiple industry analysts. And we're talking about the platform itself, low-code, no-code, BPM platform, as a foundation of all the Creatio offerings, and business apps built on top of the platform, CRM apps, horizontal apps, vertical apps, add-ons and templates, all these different kinds of apps that together with our partner community, we built on top of the Creatio low-code, no-code platform. So that's the marketing architecture, if you will, of Creatio. And again, if we move on with the slides, you're going to see that the platform itself, as well as the applications built on this platform, recognized by Gartner. Creatio is named a leader in two Gartner Magic Quadrants, and overall presented in 5 Gartner Magic Quadrants, as well as Forrester, 7 Forrester Waves, where Creatio, thanks to the apps built on the platform, is present. And what excites us more than anything is actually the reviews that Creatio platform is getting from our users on different websites and portals like G2, like Capterra, like Gartner Peer Insight. So if you use Creatio platforms, please share your feedback on those websites, and we'd love to hear your voice. And please believe us that customer voice, that's what Creatio development is based upon. Like we get all this voice from our customers and partners, and that's exactly what we use when we define the future development of the platform along with the product strategy that Andy and I just presented to you.
Catherine, there's a, thank you for that very much. There's a question that's a good one for clarity. It says, as we've talked about enterprise apps a lot, it says, are there any other use cases for low code, no code platforms besides building enterprise productivity apps? For instance, can I build apps for B2C users outside of the enterprise using this technology?
Absolutely, and again, as Creatio customers and partners know, we do have those tools like Portal, for example, Creatio Portal to automate B2C use cases. We automate B2B2C use cases, B2G use cases, and that's actually the beauty of the low-code platform. That's why we're so enthusiastic about the technology that Creatio has, because you can build and automate multiple different use cases using this technology. And again, as survey showed to us, it takes on average at least 50% quicker time to market. And it's all like in this world, it's all about acceleration. It's all about speed. We all know that. So time to market, time to delivery, that's the core component of any software development.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, not only is it from the portal side, but whether it's point of sale, there's so many interactions and examples that we see of our customers using this to interact with external customers, external partners, which are really a tremendous place to pick up productivity gains. It's not just the internal back office processes. And we saw earlier that about half of the applications from our survey folks, so half of the intention behind that is externally facing. So wonderful there. Let me take a moment just and thank you, Catherine, for helping walk through not only the survey, but sharing the vision of Creatio. We're super excited by the next portion where we take all of the vision that you've just shared in that architecture and we unpack it across our latest release as we're about to enter part 2 for those of you who are just tuning in of our 3-in-1 exciting Creatio event. So thank you so much, Catherine.
Thank you, Andy. And the most exciting part of the 3-in-1 event is just starting. Product demo and product presentation. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.